Hey everyone, it's me Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and as you can tell by the title of this video, we have some exciting news to cover today. Lego has kind of defeated Lepin. The China Guangdong People's High Court struck down the appeal by three parties related to the Lepin brand and awarded a damage equivalent to 2.2 million US dollars to the Lego Group. Now, that's not that much. The Lego Group pulls in a lot more money than that. It's not really about the money for them in that case. They're really just trying to get Lepin to stop making stuff. Now, there are some conditions that came out in this case that are listed on this website here. Customize minifiguresintelligence.wordpress.com. It says that the case was officially closed on July 21st of last year, although it didn't become available for public viewing until July 14th of this year. So it's been a while since Lego actually won this case. Now, Lego never actually said anything about it a year ago, and the prevailing idea there is that it's a good thing that Lego didn't say anything about winning the case against Lepin because it would have given more publicity to Lepin. It's actually a very smart move by them. First off, they're supposed to stop infringing on the registered trademarks of Lego, so I assume that means they can't do Lepin Technic or Lego Star Wars or Lepin Star Wars. Like, I'm not really sure exactly where the line is there, but it says stop infringing on the trademarks of Lego. Number 2, it says stop infringing on the non-registered trademarks of Nexo Knights. Now, this one isn't really that important because Nexo Knights is kind of gone now, but it still is going to be a thing that they have to do. They can no longer make Nexo Knights Lepin sets. Oh no. It's a real shame because Nexo Knights is gone now, so it's kind of fruitless. The third thing on the list here says stop inappropriate commercial activities, including stop using the branding of Lego or similar confusing wordings such as Lepin. Now, to be honest, and play devil's advocate here, they should be able to use the word Lepin. Lepin is not Lego. Like the word Lepin is not you can't say the word Lepin can be confused with Lego because it can't. They're two completely different words. As much as I hate to say it, I'm a little bit against that particular thing on the list, is that they can't use the word Lepin because the word Lepin simply isn't confusable with Lego. It's just another word that starts with L. Are we going to ban every word that starts with L because Lego doesn't like it or something? I don't know the specifics, but from what I just read, I'm a little like, what? And the other thing on number 3 here, it says stop using Ninjago, Chima, Nexo Knights, and lookalike wordings. So that's, I think, the big takeaway there. Like, you're seeing the pictures scroll by on the screen here. You know what they mean by lookalike wordings. Like, it's very obvious when they're doing it. And Star Wars will no longer be a thing, hopefully. We'll see. So basically what Lepin has been doing, and other similar knockoff brands, is that they'll take a theme Lego is making, they'll copy the logo exactly, and slightly change one letter so that it's a slightly different word, but it still looks almost exactly the same to anyone who doesn't really care as much. I think not using lookalike wordings is much more important than not using the word Lepin. Now, I can understand if you're saying don't use the Lepin logo the way it is as a red square with Lepin in it. That is a little confusable with Lego, but the way it's worded there with just using the word Lepin, I'm like, Lepin is just a word, okay? You can't ban that word, I think, from them using it on their advertising, but maybe in the red square. That aside, not being able to use lookalike logos is going to be a game changer for Lepin. They're actually going to have to make their own product, like Mega Bloks now. Can you believe it? Alright, on number 4, it says delete and stop distributing contents in Wexen, QQ, and other media that will infringe copyrights of Lego. I have no idea what any of that means. So we're just going to move on to number 5, to put a notice on www.wjyt-china.org on copyright infringement. I guess that's kind of like the equivalent of a community service type thing in the Americas, where you would have to do community service. If you did kind of a weak crime, you just do a little community service. But that's basically like, you have to put this on your website, I think, and that way people know what's up or something. I don't know what that means exactly, but it just says put a copyright notice on this website, and I assume that's a website that they own, so that they have to be like, yeah, we did a bad thing, this is why it's bad, even though we know it's bad. Number 6, it's Compensate Lego. It says RMB 15 million. That's about 2.2 million US dollars, so not a bad haul for the Lego Group. Again, Lego makes so much more than $2 million a year, though, that money wasn't really what they were after in this court case, at least I assume, because they really were after a lot of the other things, like stop using lookalike logos, stop using the word Lepin, even though I disagree with stop using the word Lepin. And the final thing Lepin has to do is pay the full legal cost of however much it costs Lego to sue Lepin. So I don't know how much that is, but that's what it says. I would expect it would be very high because I'm sure Lego has some very pricey lawyers, but I'm sure Lepin can afford it. So something very interesting about this happened a year ago, and Lepin is still producing clone sets of like Star Wars, Creator, Technic. So I don't really know how much of an effect this has had on the Lepin copying Lego thing. It's very clear that it hasn't stopped it, or really, in my opinion, slowed it down at all, because it's still very prevalent. As soon as Lego announced Cloud City, the next day I saw the Lepin Cloud City available for pre-order. You know what I mean? So like, it's not stopping what Lego wanted it to stop, and I don't know how they're going to go about doing that, because I believe this case specifically was on Nexo Knights, Chima, and Ninjago. So maybe like Lepin is, according to the Chinese courts, not supposed to make those, although they already knew they weren't supposed to make them. They were making them anyway. But now they like really can't make them, if that makes sense. So they're still making all the other themes, just not Ninjago, Chima, or Nexo Knights. Now, time will tell what happens with the other themes: Technic, Star Wars, Creator, Minecraft, anything else that Lego, or Lepin rather, is copying from Lego. A few more things on this article here. It says they do not know if Lepin has paid Lego, at least at the time of writing this, so I assume that's up to the Chinese courts to be like, hey, you need to pay them for real, for real. I don't know how all that works, but apparently they're not sure if they've paid them. I would hope they had paid them already, because you really don't want to get in more legal trouble, I would assume, although I don't know how strict the Chinese courts are on stuff like that. A few more interesting things here. It says, finally, we can confirm the real owner behind Lepin is indeed MZ Model, or something in Chinese letters there. Thanks to this court case, the company allegedly owned another brand, Xingbao, who produced licensing sets by famous mockers. So people that build mocks, Xingbao, I guess, would take those mocks and be like, oh, hey, here's a set that's a mock, but it's a set, and we did, like, they don't get the permission from the mock builder or anything, so they would just buy the instructions online, reproduce the set as it were, and sell them for profit. So we know the company that owns Lepin, MZ Model, thanks to the low barrier to entry for interlocking plastic toys. Lepin won't be the last one on the list for Lego to sue. Who shall be next on the list? Perhaps it will be Sembo, Decool, or Lele. So yeah, there are other clone brands that we do know about. Obviously, Lepin being the big kid on the block and has taken a little hit, but honestly, I haven't seen a change in what Lepin's doing. Like, you go on like AliExpress, or you just look up Lepin Star Wars, and you see still all the recent sets have been being made in Lepin version. There's a Lepin Y-Wing, there's going to be a Lepin Cloud City, we have a Lepin version of the new Creator James Bond car already. Like, there is everything Lepin that you could ever want. So it doesn't seem to have affected that much other than Ninjago, Chima, and Nexo Knights, and two of those themes aren't even being made anymore by Lego, so it almost seems fruitless. It's a real shame. Anyway, in the comments below, let me know what you think about this court ruling. Is this a good, I mean, obviously it's a good thing, but it doesn't seem to have affected that much. So how much farther, how much longer do you think this goes on until Lego is actually able to get a hold on what's going on with Lepin in China? So will Lego ever stop Lepin? Honestly, that's really up to China. Like, China has to be like, hey, Lepin, you're done. That's the end all be all right there. China has to basically put the Lepin owner in jail, like, to stop it. Like, I don't see that happening the way the Chinese courts work. Like, it would have happened already, I feel like. But hey, maybe Lego's still going at it. I'm sure they still are. They're still spending a lot of money on their lawyers to sue Lepin and other similar clone brands, and at some point, maybe one day, it will stop. But until then, we can all sit here and make fun of Lepin because it's funny. This reminds me of last year when I was walking through the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, and I come across a store, and it's literally it's a store with Lepin inside, and my mind was blown. I immediately started filming. I was like, what is this place? Where am I? And to remind you, if you don't know, Orlando is where Disney is, so it's a major tourist trap, if you will. And so there are lots of tourists at that mall in particular that maybe don't even know. That mall doesn't have a Lego store. The only Lego store in Orlando is in Disney Springs. And so many consumers might not have even known the difference walking in there. Oh, look at all these little plastic bricks. Lego. Yeah, this is Lego. And like, they'll buy them for ridiculous prices. So that was just a fun time last year, and that video actually did really well, and I actually think I helped get that store shut down. I'll link that video below. You can check it out if you want. It's just a really cool video to kind of look through and be like, what in the world? It's so weird to see something like that in America. Like, I know they have shops in China that are totally like that. Like, those are very common. You'll have knockoff goods like that. But you do not see that in America, especially in a major shopping mall such as the Mall of America. Like, that is a very, very rare thing. So I was like I was kind of taken aback when I walked up into that store, and I was like, what in the world? Like, it changed I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? But that's all I have for this video today, guys. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit your channel, subscribe. And if you have anything to say about Lepin kind of being taken down, but not really, because they're totally still making copy sets today in 2018, even though that happened a year ago in 2017. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.